Look no further than the 1,000 J6 families that have been devastated by a weaponized government. Dawn raids, doors kicked in, husbands pulled out of bed at gunpoint.
Residents of 30840, this is the FBI.
Shut your mouth, get in line, just behave or pay the fine. They're pulling on your backbone and taking out your spine. They want you weak, don't speak, don't question, don't think. Keep staring at
stop after stop, city after city. But some places are more special than others.
Oh Jesus, what happened to us?
The fact that I'm sitting here across from so many people across the country in our past have converged here, and they'll converge in Washington, D.C., they'll converge in all these different places. I hope you can see that God is at work through all of this. And the right people have shown up on the scene, and we are dominating the court of public opinion. Dominating. It's not even close.
As I stepped into the Capitol and saw real, like, okay, yes, there really is broken glass. Like, this really did happen. It was at that point I realized they set us up. I knew it was a setup. I knew that this was something that they had effectively done to make the Trump movement, the MAGA movement, the Trump supporters, the American people look bad. I knew that. But I didn't think that that plan included me personally. A whole line of officers just let me walk right in. There was officers everywhere, you know, present. Just, it was a total controlled situation. I was just in a state of prayer as I walked through the Capitol praying. I was very grieved. You know, at some point just almost crying, and I probably did cry a couple times.
You have family?
Yes, sir. A wife and 3 children.
Have you ever been in a cell before?
No. It's a totally new experience. Gentlemen came down in suits and ties to come and put me in the chains and bring me up, and unnecessarily, they totally rattle you. What I read in there, just the way they were, it seemed like they were ashamed of what they were doing. They were doing something that was wrong to an American citizen. Yeah, for a sentence, he sentenced me to 12 months in prison, and then after that, there'll be another year of parole.
My son has never been in trouble his whole life. Now finds himself with 2 felonies, no rights, and been locked up for 2.5 years. You know, but now over 900 days in, like, I can say I've been scared for his safety every day. He found a sick mouse and he did a little surgery on it with items he had there. It had a bot fly. So he did his surgery, removed the fly, cleaned it up, kept the wound clean, and the guys loved it. They called it MAGA Mouse, and they were all excited, and the guards found out, and everybody was scared that they were going to kill the mouse, like, you know, in the Green Mile. I don't know if you ever saw that. Yeah. So they started worrying, and they managed to release the mouse in time. But, you know, he saved its life. It went around as a story. He's just very loving and caring. I lost my husband in 2018, and I don't remember a lot of that time. I kind of checked out. My kids thought, you know, it might kill me. I thought it might kill me, but, you know, when this happened and someone takes your child from you, when you think that you've kind of lost everything, it really puts it into perspective. I still have my children. This completely brought me back to life. I had something to fight for.
The next thing that's got to fall are these failed, corrupt institutions. We've got to evict the people there, and that's why I work mostly on elections and the machines, because I desperately want someone that's gone on record that said, if elected, you can expect a pardon for all the J6ers. And by all, I mean there's some that don't deserve it, but those are the unindicted Fed co-conspirators. Those are the federal agents. Those people should be tried for treason. But all of you factually innocent, God-fearing, lovely people, you don't deserve the hell that's been thrust upon you. And when God Almighty sits and takes that judgment seat, it's over. So do what you can to improve the terrain until there is freedom.
They told me that I had 8 strokes, but one of them was a bad stroke, and I think that's probably the one that affects me more. We've been unjustly charged with something that we didn't do. My youngest son, Isaac, and Aaron, my stepson, they were both trying to administer care to somebody, and they've been charged with worse crimes than what I've been charged with. Somebody sprayed me with something that was very toxic to my eyes. They were forcing us to the opening. Doors flew open. I kind of had to sit somewhere because I couldn't see. We are gonna go to court in Washington, D.C. that's coming up February. I'm 64 years old. I've never experienced anything like this in my life, and I'm really dumbfounded and astounded that I'm facing something like this.
I put my SIMS card back in my phone. 2 unmarked cars pull in, surround me at the recycling center. And so they got me all in there, and that was a lot of fun. I'd never done the whole get naked and, you know, lift your whatever. I'd never done that before. That was really weird, but there was about 100 guys out there, all just taking breaks, talking to their families, making their phone calls. This guy stands up all the way across the room, another inmate, and he's just like, you know, Zach Martin. He's like, is there Zach Martin in here? And did you just get arrested? He's like, were you at the Capitol? And they'd seen it on the, like, or heard it on the radio or something. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's me. And then he just like high fives me, and like all these prisoners are like at the table, like right next to her, are like reaching over the table, like shake my hand. I mean, it was the best trip to jail you could ever have, really.
20 years from now, I hope that we come here and gather on the other side of victory. God bless you all. Thank you.
You know, on January 6, 2021, when the United States government murdered my child, they took so much more from me than just my daughter, because it shattered my belief in what this country stands for.
When I was growing up, we were a country of greatness, and now we're starting to fall away, and I can't believe that my country is doing this.
Since this January, they open up for people out here to go in to visit.
Have you gone in to visit?
Every Friday.
Every Friday?
Every Friday.
So over my shoulder is Freedom Corner, and it's become a very, very hallowed place in the sense that there was a time where our J6ers were on this side of the prison. So come on over here, over to the wall. And as we sing the national anthem at the corner every night without fail, and they sing the national anthem, and inside the gulag over here, the prisoners sing along. And a lot of times we can do jail calls and connect. And we know that they hear us because they're able to flash the lights. And through these windows, you'll see the lights come on and off.
3, 2, 1. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
And That was something we would look forward to. And at some point, the warden or whoever the officials are wanted to rob them of that joy, and they moved them away from the corner. So we're not able to connect the same way. Special place, though. Look around you. This is where the swamp wants our J6ers. There's still a disconnect with most Americans that don't associate what happened on November 3rd, 2020 with January 6th. But the reality is everyone that's rotting in there right now is in there because of what happened on November 3rd. Coming to Freedom Corner will put pep in your step on counting the cost and truly asking yourself, am I doing enough? And uniformly, the answer is no. And the reason that you know that the answer is no is because John Mellis, Jake Lang, Ryan Samsel, they're in there right now. So my travels, they really don't mean anything in comparison to what they're going through.
Although I should say I'm not sure whether Lord...
So many J6ers locked away by a weaponized government.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no.
So I'm going to make the assumption that there was more than one, more than 5, more than 10, and that you're ducking the question.
I can't, again, I just can't speak to that here, but I'm happy to get the court filing that...
Look, it's been 2 years.
But how do you change that government when our politicians are selected rather than elected? When everyone is too scared to talk about the slave master that made it all possible? In the simplest of terms, we use proprietary machines that use programs to steal, shuffle, dilute, and plunder our most valuable property interest, our votes. And our votes are our voices. So while the J6ers wear real chains, we continue to wear invisible ones. Oh, how I dream of breaking through the feed that keeps us asleep, to change the movie we've been watching, to expose the lies one by one. What if I could change the feed? I can see it now. I'm on my way. Awake, America. Awake.